surround ourselves with in this business. So do you bounce or do you splatter? Now, one thing that we can do to eliminate a lot of this whining is be committed and be truly committed. You know, we live in an instant gratification society. We look at let's take a boxer. Let's take Evander Holyfield. Amazing fighter, 5-time heavyweight champion of the world. People look at him and think he became a champion in the ring. Is that true? No. He didn't become a champion in the ring. We assume that because we're instant gratification. He became a champion because he made decisions that fought mediocrity every single day. The easy thing is to go along with the flow. That's easy. And it reminds me of a story of a study they did once. They put 4 monkeys in a room. In the middle of that room, there was a steel pole. At the top of that pole was beautiful bananas. So they were sitting in a room. As soon as that first hungry monkey saw the bananas, he started climbing a pole. He was hungry. He saw it. It was beautiful. He reached for that first banana. They douse him with cold water. So what he does is he screams, goes down the pole, and runs off into a corner. The next monkey does it. Same exact thing happens. Runs down. Third monkey does it. Same thing. Until all of them had reached for a banana and all of them had taken a cold bath. Now what they did was they took out one of those monkeys and introduced a brand new monkey. As soon as that brand new monkey saw that banana up in the middle of the room at the top of the pole, he reached for the pole, started to climb, and the other 3 grabbed him and pulled him down. So they took another monkey out, put a brand new one in, until the same exact thing happens, until all 4 monkeys were brand new in the room. The banana's still up top, and nobody goes after it. Because that's just the way it is. And that's exactly what we talk about with this business. How quick it is for some people to allow somebody else to keep them from their dreams. To turn away just because they don't have the guts to go after anything themselves, right? So when things are tough with you, I want you to ask yourself one question. How truly committed am I? Some people in this room, I used to be that guy after is I'm committed. Sure. How truly committed are you? Think about commitment in every walk of life. Think about commitment in a business relationship. One person starts showing a little bit of a lack of commitment. What happens? Business starts crumbling, relationship starts crumbling. Okay, relationships, a marriage. You find one person, one of those people in a couple starts showing a little bit of lack of commitment. What happens? Relationship starts crumbling. So how truly committed are you? That was a story. I'll leave that one out. I want you to really look at what a real commitment looks like. How many of you have heard of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier? Amazing when I first read this. This is commitment. They have these physical attributes that they have to adhere to. First, they have to be 5'10" to 6'2". That rules me out. That rules Chris out for different reasons. So yeah, sorry Chris, you knew that was coming. So you have to be 5'10" to 6'2". You have to have a waistline of 30 inches or less before you're even considered. And you have to agree to a 2-year commitment of duty. How committed are you? How many people got into this, spent a month, and got out? How many of you are going to give that 2-year commitment to duty? You have to speak to no one for the first 6 months of duty. Boy, that knocks a lot of people out, don't it? You have to watch no TV for the first 6 months of duty. That knocks out the other ones. to spend all your off-duty time memorizing the names, etc., and the spots where they're buried of the famous people, the notable people that are buried in Arlington National Cemetery. 5, you have to spend 5 hours a day cleaning your uniform. How committed are you? Number 6, you have to check that there are no wrinkles. So after that 5 hours, then you got to check it for no wrinkles, folds on the uniform. Number 7, you have to live in barracks below the tomb for 2 years. How committed are you? Number 8, never curse in public for the rest of their lives. Now, we talked about a 2-year commitment. Now, this is a lifetime commitment that they make. Number 9, you never drink alcohol on or off duty for the rest of their lives. How committed are you? Nice to have some people I know. Number 10, never disgrace a uniform or the tomb for the rest of their lives. After they get finished with that tour of duty, they get a wreath pin. And if they break any of those promises, they have to send it back. Now, you've seen the commitment that they made there. But was it Hurricane Ike that came through Washington, D.C.? I don't know. One of the hurricanes. I can't remember which one it is. We'll call it Hurricane Greg, right? One of the hurricanes comes through Washington, D.C. And the House and the Senate, they, of course, they're the first ones to take off. But that goes along with Russ's. But the House and the Senate gave these guys that guarded the tomb the opportunity to not work during that. During that hurricane's coming through, they could have stayed in the barracks. They could have left town just like everybody else. But what they said was, no, this is not a job. This is a privilege that we have. How many of you see what you do as a privilege? So what they did was, a hurricane was coming through. They still guarded the tomb. 30 minutes on their walk. They still took 21 steps in one direction, turned around, moved the gun from one shoulder to the other to keep it away from the tomb, as protocol said, walked 21 steps in the other direction. They were pelted with wind, they were pelted with rain, and they did not waver. How committed are we? They did not stop. So how committed are we? Think about your commitment level right now. And before the next time when things start getting rough in your business, before pointing your finger at someone else, ask yourself, how committed am I? You can recommit yourself every single time. One thing Chris Estes said to me all the time was, you can push that restart button. You can push that commitment button right now, but mean it when you do it. And you think about commitment, I'll tell you a story. There was a tightrope walker up in Canada. And he did spectacular things. He walked across a tightrope the first time. On the other end, there was a blindfold, so he blindfolded himself, walked back across the tightrope. That wasn't it. He had a wheelbarrow on the other side. So he walked back across it, blindfolded, and with the wheelbarrow. There was a promoter in New York that heard about it. And he sent him a telegram. And he said, tightrope, I've been hearing about what you're doing, and I don't think you can do it. But I would like for you to come try to walk across the Niagara Falls on a tightrope. I don't think you can do it. Well, tightrope agrees. Says, I think that'll be a great idea. So the promotion begins. They start promoting it huge. The promoter says, there's going to be a lot of money in this for you if you do this and you make it. I don't think you can do it. But the day arrives. Walking across from the Canadian side to the American side. First time he gets up, he walks across it, no problem. The promoter's standing back at the other end. He blindfolds himself. He walks back across to the Canadian side where the promoter's waiting on him. Tightrope looks at the promoter and said, "Do you think I can do it?" He said, "Yeah, I think you can do it." He said, "No. Do you really think I can do this?" He said, "Yes, I think you can do it." He said, "No. Do you really believe I can do this? Are you committed to your belief that I can do this?" He said, "Yes, I just watched you do it twice." He said, "Okay, get in a wheelbarrow." But that's some of us. In that Zija wheelbarrow where we want to stick our foot and keep our balance on the other. Are you fully committed to get in that Zija wheelbarrow? Some of us are not. So now we understand what we focus on grows.